Stephen Garvey, founder, leader of National Citizens Alliance of Canada, NCA. Tonight I'm going to share a pretty profound information. It's from a third-party source out of India, and it will prove to you that everything NCA has been telling you about migration and the third world immigrant populism we've been talking about, putting migrants first, the transformation of Canada is all true. It's all happening. So I'm going to get right into this. But remember, NCA is all about facts. 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 We believe in empowering the Canadian people. We believe the stronger, the more independent Canadian people are, the more they know, the stronger, the more prosperous our country will be. That's why we do this. We want you to be strong. We want to empower you, and we believe we will have the best country. No questions asked. So I'm just going to summarize a quick finding from a previous video on migration. The targets for 2019, and these are the middle ground targets. We're looking at 950,949 coming into Canada. Total migration, 191,000 plus economic. Chain migration, family, over 88,000. Humanitarian, over 51,000. Regular migration, 330,000 plus in 2019. If you add in this study permit holders, 317,000 plus. Temporary foreign workers, 78,000 plus. International mobility program, 224,000 plus. You come to a total of 950,949 into Canada. And I have to stress, although this is under the Liberal government, the other mainstream parties are no different. Trudeau is a symptom. He's not the disease. This has been going on for decades and decades. It doesn't matter which mainstream party, which career politicians are in power. They're all playing the same globalist game. And we'll just reference here Harper. And this is in 2015. He brought in 172,000 plus economic migrants, 63,000 chain migration, 24,900 humanitarian, a total of 260,000 regular migration. Then you add in study permit holders, over 219,000, temporary foreign workers, 73,000 plus, international mobility program, 175,000 plus. The total in that year alone for Harper was over 728,000 migrants in the country. And that was a low year for Harper. So you see they're no different. They're all playing the same game. And I'm going to go back to this here. We have a chart down here. So here's the basic chart of the mainstream parties compared to NCA. NCA, a moratorium with no end date followed by 50,000 or less. Then all these other parties are basically the same. You're looking at 800,000 plus migrants a year into the country. So you have a clear choice in this 2019 federal election. If you're against the migration and immigration coming in, support NCA, then the other parties, it doesn't matter which one you vote for. They're all basically the same. That's the truth. You won't hear it anywhere else. I'm going to get into some fascinating facts now that'll shed light on this. This is from an Indian ESM. Indian. They're a immigration consultant operating out of India, and they're trying to bring get Indian visas, etc., into the U.S., Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Singapore. And they talk about Canada here, quote, The number of international students in Canada stood at nearly 572,000 in 2018. It marked an increase of almost 14% from the previous year, when the number of international students stood at more than 494,000. And most important, the numbers are expected to be record high in 2019. So we're going to be well over 600,000 student permanent holders in the country after 2019. That's a fact. That's part of this mass migration into Canada. This is interesting here. This goes into scholarship assistance. It proves the brain drain of the federal government and nonprofits connected to the federal government. So they're draining some of the brightest out of third world countries. And these are some of the institutions that are doing. They're actually giving scholarships to foreign students over Canadian students. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Canadians second. Third world migrants first. That's all it is. Look here. University of Manitoba has a program. Quebec provincial government has a scholarship program. University of Calgary. Trudeau Foundation scholarships. Ontario Trillium Scholarship. National Research Council. Ontario Graduate Scholarship. University of Waterloo. Canadian Commonwealth Scholarship. Vanier Canada Graduate Scholarship. Sastry Indo-Canadian Institute. So this is all scholarships for foreign students to come into our country. Can you believe it? The Trudeau Foundation. This is all brain drain. And this is the most important thing. This is something I came across today. It talks about the benefits of becoming a Canadian citizen. As a Canadian citizen, you can approach a lot of the resources, and one can have benefit from publicly funded schools. One can live and work anywhere in Canada. Civil liberties are protected under Canadian law. There are lots of other benefits one can avail after becoming a Canadian citizenship. So this is basically a free-for-all. Come in. You can do whatever you want. You got a lot of things paid for. So number one, you get voting rights. This is what the Indian Consultant Forum is telling Indians to come here. You get voting rights. As a citizen, you can vote in the federal as well as provincial municipal elections, and you can enter politics. You can also be called to serve jury duty. So the sales bit coming here, come to Canada. You can become a citizen and then get on the trough train in Ottawa or some provincial or municipal government and start feeding off the trough. That's one of the incentives. You are secure in Canada. You can live comfortably without doubt of having to meet residency needs or fear of being dismissed. As a citizen, you won't have a restriction on the duration of your stay in Canada. After becoming a citizen, you don't need to renew your citizenship. So you're secure in Canada. You can do what you want. You don't have to integrate. You're going to have your residency needs met through subsidies, low-income housing, or whatever. You can do whatever you want within the basic realm of the law. The third one, you can travel anywhere. The Canadian passport is among the top 10 passports in the world. As a Canadian citizen, your Canadian passport is a way to more than 160 countries. No visa required. So you can come here and you can leave. You can do whatever you want. Go back to your homeland country and still be a citizen of Canada and reap the benefits of being a citizen. Employment options. And this is the critical one. As a citizen, you will now be able to battle in jobs that need high level security, safety, clearance. Government jobs are the most stable and well-paying jobs in Canada. Moreover, when your kids will be born, they will become Canadian citizens without going through all the steps you went through to get yours. You can access basic free healthcare, free public school education, as well as social services like employment insurance, student government loans. So you can get on all the freebies, free healthcare. You get access to government jobs, high-level jobs, especially with affirmative action. In Ottawa, favoring visible minorities, new migrants, refugees over traditional Canadians. Quite the incentives to come to Canada, wouldn't you say? What does this have to do with the Canadian people, the traditional Canadian people, providing a gravy train to all these third world migrants? How's this helping the Canadian people, our veterans, our seniors, our homeless, or unemployed? This goes further too. This shows the pathway to Canadian permanent residency. All you need is 67 points out of 100. Age, you get 12 points. So if you're relatively young, you're going to max out there. Education, you get 25 points. Work experience, 15 points. Language skills, 28 points. Adaptability, max 10 points. Employment, arranged employment, you only get 10 points. So the point system is favoring age, education, language skills, followed by work experience. So if you're a student permit holder, you already have the age, you're going to have the education, you get some work experience, you learn English, maybe French too, you're into permanent residency. That quick. Then you're on the gravy train to citizenship. That's how quick it's happening. In this report, emissions of permanent residents, top countries, India, Philippines, China. In terms of student permit holders, China and India are in the top two by a large margin coming in. This is temporary workers program. In 2015, 73,000 plus. 2016, 78,000 plus. 2017, over 78,000 as well. International mobility is just increasing. 2017, over 224,000. Student permit holders, look at that. 2017, over 317,000. Transition from temporary worker to permanent resident, nearly 50,000 a year and more now. Transition from international student to permanent residence, probably approaching over 10,000 a year now into permanent residence and on the gravy train. So you have a good idea what's going on. It's literally a gravy train. I didn't go into all the numbers today, but generally people, chain migration, we've already showed it. People coming in, bringing their parents, grandparents, they can get on welfare from 55 to 65. Then they can tap into CPP, OAS, GIS, especially when their sponsor has withdrawn. This is what's happening. Canada is getting sold out. I'm not going to get into the NCA solutions tonight, but the bottom line, we support a moratorium on immigration with no end set date. We support reducing immigration to 50,000 or less in total per year. These student permit holder things are not about the Canadian people. They are subsidizing. Right now, there's 96 universities in the country, keeping them afloat. Why do we need so many universities? How are they contributing? Why do we need them all? NCA says cut them back. We don't need them. We don't need 96 universities in this country. We would cut them back. We would cut off the stream of student permit holders into this country. We're the only federal party in 2019 federal election that is making this an issue. But tomorrow night, I'm going to go into our humanitarian citizenship, and I will make clear other solutions. But one note on that, we support a minimum 10 years to become citizen in this country. You need 10 years to become a citizen. Right now, it's 4 to 5 years. Thank you very much. Please share your comments on the information tonight. It is reality. You won't hear this in the mainstream media or from the mainstream parties. NCA is all about Canadians first. Thank you.